Hey, welcome to Second Shift Review. I'm Ethan. Joining me today is my lovely wife, Ashley. Today we're doing a review of the first episode of the Gilded Age, Season 1. So, what were your thoughts?
Where do I begin? This is, of course, done by Julian Fellows, which I've been a fan of his since
Downton Abbey.
2013. No, sooner than that, 2011 or 12. But you recently just watched Downton Abbey a few years ago.
Yeah,
2019, yeah. And then we saw the movie. And so, what did you think of it?
It's not Downton Abbey.
No,
okay?
it's not.
I'm glad. I'm not going to compare it to it. It's its own thing.
It is. And I didn't know if it was going to be like that because Julian Fellows has done his own other shows, of course, other than Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
But none of them, I've wanted them to be to the point of Downton Abbey and had those high expectations. This one, I have to say, has set the bar high. And I'm not comparing it to Downton Abbey, but I felt a lot like this was not American
Downton Abbey?
Yeah. In a way. Like, I mean, it's a very modern take on New York in the 1800s, set in the 1880s with rich money, it's a high coming.
It's all the class.
Yeah, the class and societal issues. You have your old money, then you have your new money. And I liked how that was represented because that was a big deal back around this time.
Yeah, that was the.
And I liked how the different gender roles were important. Men inherited the money, leaving women with nothing. And of course, spoiler, of course, this is about a young woman, Brooke.
Yeah, this has race connotations because this is about 20 years or so after the Civil War.
And it's like, and it shows race into like that. Even this character that is with Brooke. Mrs. Brooke.
And it's in the North.
Yeah.
So it's been 40 years.
You said it was 30s, right?
Yeah. When they kind of abolished it. So it's been, for most everybody in this town, in this area, it's been a long time since slavery was kind of a thing. And you still have the racists and stuff and the bigots and stuff, but for the most part, everybody's kind of understanding.
Yeah, the African Americans have established themselves after a few generations and are pretty well off. You know, I'm kind of curious to see this. I can't remember her name at the moment, but this, of course, this. I guess you could say now she's a secretary, to Mrs. Brooke and her family.
Peggy.
Okay, is it Peggy?
Peggy Scott.
Okay, but she also has education. You know, that wasn't for African Americans. That was a big deal. I like how this one, because this is a different take on, you know, I mean, Downton Abbey was about British. I feel this is really American social drama, and that's what Downton Abbey was, a social drama. And it was historical, you know, within reason, but yet it's historical social drama.
I like the character of Agnes. She's kind of our window into this time frame and everything. Her dad just died, and she's coming from like rural Pennsylvania, like a farmhouse out in the middle of the woods, to New York City, and it's like New York City starting to be like a boom.
Yeah.
And she doesn't understand the social rules and the dress, and she doesn't really understand anything. And so, as she learns, we learn the whole aspects of everything.
And of course, that goes into she wants to be nice and be, you know, her aunts have these rules, and especially it has to go into that with old family money versus new money. And of course, you have those new characters. The one, and it seems I'm losing mine of characters right now. There was a lot of characters, I will say that. It did flow very well for adding so many characters, because you had at least how many?
Yeah, it has quite a bit of characters.
Yes. very, very, very. So and it was easy to keep up with. I liked how there are certain rules because in society, especially it plays with the how it shows how the women are in society with the upper class and their charities as they call it.
Yeah.
And then it shows the men's side as well.
Yeah.
With that.
What's expected of them.
Yes.
And, yeah.
And it shows it shows old and younger, and it seems that there's a relationship going on between Mrs. Brooke and that one
Larry Russell.
Yeah. With the Russells. Yes. And Russells are the new money.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to know a little bit more about them, but of course she throws its benefit and it does not
Bertha Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does not go well.
She's got all this money and she's got this land and she wants to just, I'm here, you should come to me and just, I should be automatically accepted into this world. And after her big party that kind of flops, she understands, okay, it's not going to be that easy.
And she also understands this is war. Yeah. And this is starting when, too, her husband, Mr. Russell, he tends to, have, yeah, he seems to have not some kind of issue. He's like, I'm here to stay with that whole.
He's ruthless.
Yes.
In business practices.
He has to. I think he feels like he has to because he has a name made for himself.
That transfers into like everything he does.
Yeah.
He's not below getting.
But he seems like a devoted wife and husband.
Yeah.
And father.
So far. This is the first episode.
I'd like to know the aunt.
They have a daughter.
Yeah. Who's not yet out and coming. They also have a son.
Yeah.
Who is interested in Mrs. Brooker. And I like that. That's a little bit different.
As like the Romeo and Juliet aspect. Because I have a feeling the Russells and the main family are gonna start stuff and go back and forth.
Well, and it's kind of like this pride. I mean, there was like two different aunts, and I like that character. Like one's like, let's just, you don't understand. I like that it gave a lot of backstory enough where it showed that, what happened with her father. He took all the money, he swindled it, and did not take care of his sisters. And then they had to, figure out, and one of them got married to it seemed like abusive situation in a way.
Yeah.
And at least, it's like and at first, of course, the aunts are reluctant, but then once they get to know her, they become really close, and accepting. And so I like that difference of characters to balance out. I'm kind of excited to see where things go from here and how this changes.
They're just establishing everything right now.
Oh yeah, and I'm just excited. This for me is a very, I don't know. I know I'm not going to compare it to Downton Abbey, but this feels like everything I would hope for Julian Fellowes.
So, what do you think about the fashion and the style and
everything? Oof, where do I go with that? It's accurate.
Yeah.
I feel you noticed on Mrs. Russell's outfit, it's a lot more outlandish. People back then had to feel like showy, they had to be a little bit more showy.
Right.
And she's too dressed. For that charity thing, she was too dressed. Yeah. And
gaudy.
And yes, and it looks as come offish. And they built this big house, which they can build a big house, but yeah, also the women didn't want Miss Russell to go away because we need her money for charity events and they can give all this money. But see, you notice how the skirts themselves of Miss Russell's are a little bit more trained and more elegant. And you look at some of the others and they're less skirted.
I kind of feel like I'm not wrong that she's wearing like the latest fashions and stuff from like Paris and stuff, and everyone else is kind of just a little bit more conservative. Like
Yeah.
the fashion of the last couple years, and she's wearing like the.
Well, just even notice her hair, the way her hair is, and her earrings and necklace.
Yeah,
you know, and that's
everything.
Yeah, and it wouldn't. I mean, you notice, like, it's the hat, it's the whole. Yeah. It's not just the clothes. If it was just the clothes, then it would be. Everyone is conservative about this time.
She walks around like she's the queen.
Yeah. Well,
she's got this like presence.
But you notice her daughter. Her daughter's very subtle.
Yeah.
Her daughter's not totally.
She's still young.
Yeah, and I guess she's about that coming of age
and stuff.
Well, and she also said her mom was waiting for coming of age. I like the fashion choices. I think it's really accurate to that time. And so I'm curious a little bit more. I know a tiny bit about this era, but I know that France was the main around this time. This was the Victorian era in England, so everyone around
England and France were like the major trading partners.
Those fashions didn't hit until I feel like the late 90s.
It was kind of building up. Right now, 1890s. It's the Wild West time.
Yeah.
Everywhere else in the country, and the South is rebuilding. They're trying to tame the West, and New York City is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
And it's becoming New York, which is part of the upper. This is the birth of the upper class, etc.
It's like just the different boroughs, and they're starting to just like come together. Mexico and Cuba are starting to be a problem. They're starting like very inkling.
See the colors as well. I love the color scheme because it's very well because you can see it's just subtly like there are people. If you notice, the main characters are in a different color than like the side characters because I noticed that because it blends really well. And I have to say the direction and the lighting and even the music sounded a little bit, kind of that time period. I will say that. And of course I'm going to say Downton Abbey because I felt like it was relatable to that. But anyway, I can go on. But
so how do you feel about the episode overall?
I really am excited. I really hope. I'm excited. I enjoyed it. I, of course, have high expectations, which will continue. But I feel like this could be a very up there.
I thought it was good. I'm being a little bit reserved to see if it gets better.
Or
I felt like it's a real middle ground because we're still getting to know all the characters and everything, and it seemed a little bit fast and stuff. But I understand that they're trying to set everything up, and then they'll slowly like unveil everything in a good way.
I like that.
So hopefully the next episode continues on an upward trend.
Let's just hope that in Downton Abbey it does move really fast and like you get lost with the different ages. Let's just focus. I kind of wish it would slow down. Let's focus on this, take it slow versus jumping from year to year to year to year.
We'll see.
Which might be different.
Yeah.
But
so tell us what you think in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe now.